Can you feel the love tonight? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
World for once. Perfect harmony.
Ah, that was beautiful. That gave me little tingly winglies. Liam, what a voice on him. That falsetto, that's something I need to like start training that, because I'm just like, I had it a little bit when I was younger. I could never do falsetto, but you really got to like, for me, some people just have it. For me, it's like got to be a trained thing. I just can't do it.
Once your voice drops, it is hard. Like, you know, that's definitely a scary place to be. Vocally.
I can't sing at all, so.
Well, we're back with a coffee break after an amazing episode with Russ Towers, did he say?
Yeah,
yes.
interesting
Towers,
spelling.
Yeah, but interesting spelling.
Eco Barista.
Eco Barista. And now we sizzled the end of that episode saying that Molly was going to have us a coffee on the show, but I'm not seeing any of the equipment laid out around.
No, she's been prepped. Sure.
Oh, she's prepped?
Yeah. Mol, come bring it and you can cook behind. Yeah.
Oh, she can come and cook here.
Cook on.
Cook right in the middle of it.
Do you want me to get the mic up?
Oh, yeah, get her. Chuck a mic up. Why not? We can get it. Whoa, whatever makes you break. Yeah, that was a fantastic pod. Mate, can I be a little cheeky? I don't know if he'll be into it, but I use his products, Eco Barista. Use these products, Eco Barista. Just had him on the pod. That was pretty nice of us, you know. Maybe we're going to catch up with him a bit later for a beer. Do we give him the little pokey and maybe these boys could get a little sponsy?
Well, I mean, I kind of feel like we've flirted with the idea pretty well. We gel together pretty well.
I thought the chemistry was on.
Yeah, look, I mean, chemistry was there, right? Chemistry was there, vibes were there. He's good for a chat too.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and if I can say, you know, there's always that little bit of like dirty wordy when you're getting the sponsors of the pods and doing this kind of thing. But what I'm thinking is this is a lot of work and a lot of time. And it would be nice to get, you know, at least cover the cost of doing the time of doing it.
You know, how many hours do I spend preparing each episode?
Yeah.
I don't even know. So, you know, then there's the recording it. So would be nice. Oh, Molly's got the heartbreak latte.
Come on, we've got a mic here for you. We've brought you in, and
I'll tell you what. You know, we've had a big day. Oh, get the sound.
Oh, there's the ASMR. Yeah. We've got the subminimal nanofoamer whizzing up. What do we got in there, Molly? Do you want to? Can you come down to the mic?
Crash down to the mic and tell us. Yeah, pause that for a second.
So we've just got Moccona. Dark roast.
Ooh, dark.
Just 1 teaspoon.
Yeah.
Because it is 4 p.m. And 1 teaspoon of sugar. Usually I would do brown because it's more caramelly.
Oh, molasses.
It smells quite pungent. I can smell the instant.
Yeah, are you enjoying that smell?
Oh, give it a go. Yeah, sure.
Great.
I'm excited to try this.
So, backing up for those that you can keep whizzing away there, just backing up for those, Molly works with us here at GB and she just chooses not to drink golden brown coffee through the beautiful $7,000 La Marzocco we have with our beautiful Riverina fresh milk that we have in the fridge, but instead, Moccona in a cup.
I would actually just like to add that I maybe have this once a week.
No, you do not.
I have this once a week. And you just always catch me having it. And most of the time I'm having golden brown or I'm having especially strawberry or the lemon blend.
Okay. All right, they're getting some good love, those blends at the moment.
Yeah.
I like that. Adriana back in the office was, you know, she was keeping tabs on me. She said, "You said you'd bring the Lamington, and there's no Lamington." So just calling
well,
you
she
out.
did. I gave her you brought in a couple bags of the cinnamon one, and we went through one of the bags, then we just had another one sitting there, and she was like, "Can I have this to take home?" And she was just like making an AeroPress. She loves it, cinnamon, any spice, anything like that in there. And she was frothing it, just making like AeroPresses with a bit of milk at home, and she was having a great time.
We will be bringing that back next year for sure.
Oh yeah.
There's a few other flavors that I want to try out. Like, I really, really want to have like a grape one.
Yeah.
But I had a grape one last year that kind of tasted like popcorn. So yeah, you got. That's how I perceive it anyway. You got to be careful with some of these co-ferments, but they're not all amazing.
Can we have? I feel like we need to get the listeners in on this. Where can you talk with any of the farms and actually choose what you want them to co-ferment it in? Like, could we get a listener poll going where it's like it's just coffee co-ferment?
It's just coffee lot.
Yeah, it's just coffee lot. Can we buy a farm? Can we buy a farm?
I don't know. I don't know if we got that kind of
co-ferment.
money, but it's just co-ferment. I like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that can be part of our, if we ever set up a Patreon,
Well,
we could have like a tier where it's like, if you spend X amount, you are part owner of the forthcoming
It's like that
coffee lot.
My brother
Yeah,
brother bought like $40 worth of like maybe like a tenth of a centimetre of land in Scotland so that he could be called Lord Pearson.
Oh, I saw that. That's a great gift.
He literally did that.
Yeah.
That'd be so funny.
Same thing with I think it's Lafroig, the whiskey or something like that. They if you get a bottle, you end up owning like a part of the Isla section that the peat moss, which gives the smoky characteristic to the whiskey, you end up owning a part of it, like a tiny little foot by foot.
Well, you'd unlock because that is a smoke bomb. Lagavulin, still to this day, all of the bottles are poured through the one like gold or brass tap that's at the end of the line.
For real?
Yeah.
It's just a single one.
Every single
my
bottle
God.
comes from that little tap there.
My gosh.
Oh, we get on some tangents on the coffee break. We always do. I
do.
like it though.
Yeah.
But to pull us back in the direction of Molly's looking.
I'm looking lost.
Yeah.
I just have to ask, do you want oat? Because I usually have oat.
I'll have oat. Yeah, can I have oat?
Or do you want
We'll have it.
I'll go the dairy, I think.
Okay, dairy.
Okay, yeah, I'll have oat. Yeah, with Russ, packaging is for me it's difficult because we spoke about the red cycle thing on the podcast, and it's hard to kind of know. And the internet is one of those funny things. I'm sure we get roasted by someone for some reason for this pod where they're like, yeah, you do this, and it's like, well, we're trying to work within a system here. You still have to sell coffee, and I think attempting to do the best job you can is overwhelmingly a good thing. But I mean, they're doing it in a way where it's like, they're obviously making products that people need and doing it in a way where roasters can kind of feel rest assured. And even B Corp certified roasters where they have to like meet a certain environmental threshold, they're passing their own tests. So obviously it's working.
Yeah, those B Corp certifications sound like they're a nightmare.
Yeah.
Not a nightmare, a good night. Like you have to look at yourself, but it sounds like it's like a lot of work. It's like taking on a thesis.
Yeah. Well, who have you had now that's been through it? So Nick Percy from Nomad Coffee
The
Group.
Rumble Boys.
The Rumble Boys.
Cape Cup, obviously.
Cape Cup. And then Eco Barista.
Yeah.
So go.
What a spread.
And then my partner is at Who Gives a Crap.
Mm-hmm.
One of the top rated within B Corp. There's then a rating that you get within that, and they're in the like top 0.1% of like all companies in the world.
Well, the advertisement your partner did with the jelly in the bags.
Jelly.
Yeah, so if you head over to the Who Gives a Crap Instagram, you'll be able to see that.
Oh yeah, a little jelly. We did a strength test between. They've got a new plastic bag, garbage bag that they've bought out, 100% recycled plastic, and they were doing like a strength test. So why not test it by filling them up with jelly and see which can hold more between them and a generic bag? I mean, this is a tangent again, but they're going through a tough thing right now because they did a whole bunch of research into compostable bags, biodegradable bags, like all this kind of stuff. And they found out that the plastic bag is actually the best for reducing, for getting rid of just regular waste, not compostable waste, but regular waste. The plastic bag is the best because it doesn't break down and it doesn't release all of the methane and carbon into the environment. Whereas if you put all of your junk in a compostable bag that gets put in normal landfill, it then breaks down, releases huge amounts of methane. All the methane from everything in your bin goes off. So it's actually more environmentally sustainable to use that because they're then using 100% recycled plastic bags as well. So there's no virgin plastic. They're not manufacturing any plastic to make these. Oh. But it's a hard battle because we're being told that plastic equals bad. Whereas with the options that are out there right now, that's actually like the best one.
With the right context. Basically.
Yeah, it's all the context.
Yeah.
So that context, and it's a hard thing to battle because they'll meet people in the comment sections with all the information, all the facts, and they just don't want to hear it because they don't want to hear it.
It's also interesting, like, Russ was saying from a percentage standpoint, he's put so much time and effort, and the goal is to obviously be 100% at some point. But yeah, Miles, come on. But yeah, just to finish that, their goal is 30%. The fact that these are 100% is like epic. Yeah. So epic.
All right. So do you want to, so we've got it here. So is this like a Greek style? Is this like a Dalgona? What are you putting it at?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I got the recipe for TikTok, so it's not,
Oh, yeah, the TikTok coffee, the famous Dalgona.
But I saw Emma Chamberlain do it, I think.
Oh, there you go.
I was going to call that.
The Chamberlain coffee.
Cheers, boys. Anyway, they might be a bit... Just sip it, actually. Go for it.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. It definitely has that like instant coffee twang, but there's kind of like with the sweetness, there's like a little, like, you know, eating something crappy that you used to eat as a kid that you still get like a nostalgic hit from almost of like.
It's comfort. It's like a dessert.
I like that.
You know the
pick me up.
the coffee lollies. The
Yeah, it's got
toast?
that.
It's got that vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw, I'm going to try this next. Someone got honey and chocolate and they whipped it up and everything is whipped. And then you add your instant coffee and then you whip chocolate, honey, and instant coffee all together. So
Was it our video that we made last week of the honey Dalgona? Yeah. No, it's probably someone else. But
I've actually written the copy for that already.
Remember that time we were all having that discussion about the 4-day working week and then Rowan stole my hot take?
oh my God, that was
I was so proud of it. I was like, I've been cooking this hot take up. It's so good.
That was so bad because I think we were talking about it at the back, and for whatever reason, because you were working on the copy doc or something, we asked you like, what would you think about the 4-day work week? And in my brain, just the next day, it was like, oh, Molly brought up that interesting question. I should talk about that and just say it on the pod. And Kirk is like, what are you doing?
That's my hot take.
It was a scandal. It was a
scandal.
It was a total scandal.
I apologize for that. That was my bad.
But this is good. This is going down really well. Thank you, Molly. Thank
you're
you.
welcome, boys. Enjoy.
So the recipe was for anyone that wants to try the Molly. I believe that's what it's called, right? The Molly.
Oh, thanks. I mean, I don't want to get into that.
I mean, Chamberlain has enough fame. I think you can call it the Molly coffee. 1 teaspoon instant, 1 teaspoon sugar. Then is it cold water, hot water?
I used hot water.
Then hot water.
That's water.
How much hot water? Just like just enough to get it whooshing.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit of hot water. Then whiz it up. Use the nano foamer. You can use any frother, and then top it up with milk.
And you might want to mix it because sometimes the foam's just all at the top and then all you get is foam.
Yeah.
But it's satisfying.
I actually really liked the honey one when we did it. To mix in the honey, that was.
I'm gonna watch that video now.
No, the mix saved me there. I was getting some strong like bitter coffee notes at the start, but with that mix, now we're talking.
But I put less sugar than I would in mine because I am like a sweet tooth. So I probably
That's the right amount. I would not want any more than
That's
that.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm like, you would probably not like it that sweet.
Can you take this over to Big Lee Dog? I want to see Liam's thoughts, feelings, emotions.
Oh, yeah. Please, thank you. So this is with dairy, yeah? Okay, here we go.
Here we go. We're getting the moment.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Foamy, creamy, delicious. Yeah, coffee, nostalgia, crack. That's amazing.
Crack. I did put a little bit of crack in there as well.
Oh, there's a little bit of crack in there as well. Molly's going rogue.
Yeah.
It's breaking.
Viewer discretion.
That's delicious.
Crack is inventory.
I mean,
Mate.
I understand that is like a little sneaky, you know, at the end of the day. Yeah, you're right. It's like a little dessert.
Oh, thank you. And I've got my Chewbacca mug. Now, one thing that I found interesting that we didn't get into as much with them is the compostable bags or the paper bags that are kind of taking off in the coffee world. I think they're great. The hardest challenge with paper bags is going to be educating the audience. There has to be such a huge education level because those paper bags will let all the freshness out, will oxidize way quicker than in a plastic bag, right? And so the model that has to be taken if you're going to be doing that is either reusable canisters at people's houses. So they buy the paper bag, compostable bag, take it home and instantly put it into a sealed container to maintain the freshness, or some kind of top up when you go into the roastery, right? That's kind of, I've seen, is it Coffee Supreme that do it? And they've got, is it like you get a little canister with your bag when you buy the paper bag and then you're meant to refill it?
Maybe it's 7 Seeds.
I know Supreme definitely have like a little tin that comes with it, but maybe 7 Seeds are doing it now as well because they've moved to paper as well, haven't they?
Yep. So Market Lane, Common Folk.
I also, just
more?
to go on that, I loved Ross's Ross's hot take on getting rid of the valves and like the idea of like embracing the blow up of the
That could be a fun sale
That's so
point.
cool.
Of
I mean,
like,
obviously that's like, there's a little bit like, is that dangerous?
Well,
to
I
a
mean,
degree?
I've kind of
Like,
always, call me naive, but I kind of feel like it's always been like a negative thing to look out for, and he kind of enlightened me on that. So, and
a puffy bag or
yeah,
what?
yeah, like if it puffs up, then you, as a coffee professional, you can't feel like something's wrong. You know, like is that?
Yeah, well, I guess his kind of point was obviously the valve came into play when coffee was roasted a lot darker and bags were actually exploding. But now it's like with some of the lighter roasts, I mean, I kind of want to see, like, I kind of want to get a fresh bag of GB, chuck a piece of tape over the valve and see what happens.
I mean, now that we're connected with him, like surely we could even like, you know, get a couple things valveless, not, you know, like.
That's a good reel. Can someone, Moz, do you have access to the Golden Brown social sheets? Could you add puff up a bag for freshness as a fresh story?
Yeah, I like that.
Awesome.
The pufferfish.
Yeah, the puffer
bag.
fish. But you could do, if you did it, you could do some great graphic design with it about like different characters that are like puffing up as you like
so good.
have it, and then as you open it and they deflate down and that kind of thing.
Also, I think Russ might have taken the mantle of like the sweetest guest. One, spoke so sweetly, was so kind the whole time, was a bit nervous and everything. But then I think he's taken over Jay Jennings with the spread, telling Kirk that he's found a Star Wars takeaway cup.
Oh, the Darth
and has
Vader.
ordered that for you.
I might have to rebut that because I don't see a cup for me.
True.
I know I got some sauerkraut and some bread, baby. I don't see no
That's
cup
true.
for me.
That's
Yeah,
true.
well, I mean, that to be fair, that was a whole ass loaf of bread that she brought.
That was delicious.
It was
Okay,
good.
you're right, you're
It was very good. Look, and
But
I'm
maybe
not
you're taking over it for Kirk.
I'm
But,
not gonna put one ahead of the other. But look,
but if you had to,
definitely a great gesture.
yeah.
Definitely a great gesture.
Sweet.
He said something that I really enjoyed about LinkedIn. You know,
Wait, when?
in the podcast, he was saying
I wasn't listening.
he glossed himself up on LinkedIn. And how many people like? Do you use LinkedIn often, Rowan?
No.
Do you, Liam?
No.
I keep my eye on LinkedIn. I never.
I know you do. You just read news articles and people complaining about coffee and get angry.
Business people are so sooky on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But gosh darn, people get like any occasion, they just fawn about it all over LinkedIn. LinkedIn is such an interesting place, especially for coffee. All the people in your inbox are like, "Hi, Kirk. You know, whatever is so great. We should catch up."
Jargon.
LinkedIn scandals.
Linked out.
Do you remember when I was telling you guys I got in an argument with someone on LinkedIn?
yeah.
Because they were quoting something that was
You getting into an argument?
Yeah, I can't imagine
On
that.
some form of forum?
They must have really pushed some buttons to get you into an argument.
I don't know.
Kirk,
I don't even argue with that many people. I don't know why you say this about me. You're more likely to argue than me.
Hey, who do I argue with?
You have to be joking.
Well, who do I argue with?
I reckon the majority of our episodes were like, we should start a beef with them. This person, we should attack them.
Yeah, but-
This guy, new guy. Guess who I want to attack today? Literally, I reckon the majority of the time you're like, Liam, I've got a great idea. And I'm like, literally, without you telling me what it is, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, how am I going to tell him maybe we should flip it and you should be his friend instead? Like, come, be the positive voice instead of like breaking them down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't think there's enough beef in coffee, you know what I mean? everyone's
I stand by it.
Everyone's-
Speaking of beef and coffee, maybe that's the new co-ferment.
yeah,
Your jerky. Your jerky bean.
They're right.
Jerk your bean. Yeah.
Oh,
it's good.
Liam, you had to go there, didn't you? Come on.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay.
Mind out.
Line was there.
Mind out of the gutter, please. Gosh darn. This is a family restaurant.
The guy, shut up.
So where were we before Liam interrupted?
I don't know what we were even talking about. We were talking about having Russ on. He was great.
LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah, LinkedIn. You starting beefs on LinkedIn.
Well, the LinkedIn section's over for the pod, so for the coffee break. So we won't go with the LinkedIn
I
anymore.
actually need to make a LinkedIn for us.
yeah.
It's just coffee. you know.
Any hot sizzle on anyone that's coming up in the near future on the pod? Can we do any teasing, or how do we do this?
I'm gonna. Can I tell you some shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I am too.
Okay. Well, we at the shop are in probably November are going to serve the world barista champion and the world number 2, we're going to serve their coffees at Project Zero Coffee.
Oh.
So I'll be making sure that we get you guys some samples, or at least make sure there's some for you.
Can we do it on the pod and do a blind test and pick the winner? Or me.
Well,
Get me to do it. You've had them both.
Well, I'll only have a small amount. So do you back yourself to do like a Captain Jack Sparrow, one last shot sort of thing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah? Okay, all right. Well, then I'll bring a shot of each. I'll make sure I remember.
Yeah.
Then we'll try Mikhail Jasin's World Barista Champion, the Day Spa coffee. Remember the Day Spa?
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll talk about...
That was one of our first videos. We did that full review of the World Barista Championship, and that did really well.
Yeah, it did do really well. And then there's Jack's, the big one, the fruity blackberry, all that sort of stuff, which I've actually tried before. So we're going to get to try for a second time. I'm really looking forward to that. So we'll do that on the pod.
Can we talk numbers? What do we talk? What? How many pretty pennies are you popping out for these bad boys?
Oh, these coffees will cost me, like not even the consumer, cost me $500 a kilo probably.
500.
Yeah, it's premium, and this is how far we've come with coffee, right? And this is why I go into the co-ferment stuff, because like I'd serve that kind of stuff every day if I could, if there was a market for it. But at $500 a kilo, a lot of customers would just balk at it. So it's a once every blue moon sort of thing.
And so, like for a double, what are you getting out of a kilo? 50 shots of coffee, maybe
yeah,
something like that. Not to count in like dialing in and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
dialing in would hurt.
Well, see, this is the thing.
So what is it? $10 minimum, $10 without any other cost. It's costing you $10 a shot,
pretty much. So when I did this the first time around, I actually had to do a little plan for how I was going to like waste the least for dialing in. So what I did was I got the grinder and I dialed in another coffee, which I thought would be roasted at a similar roast profile,
like a similar solubility kind of thing.
Yeah, and then I just kind of whacked it in, and then thankfully I got it one shot.
Oh, one shot wonder.
Yeah, because previously with the Sub-Zero events, I've done it in an EK, so it's just like you can kind of have a bit more control with an EK, but there's also a lot more variance during the day. And then if like I've got a big lineup of customers that want to buy it, having it through an EK is just an absolute pain. So
could you? Like when you chat to your roaster, could you be like, roast me another coffee in a similar profile so to do that? Like, could we do that so we could dial in a shot here and then?
Well, I could just get you what I think is similar. And
okay.
Go from there.
Yeah.
So they do like a hybrid style, which is like halfway between filter and espresso for competition roasts.
Right.
So yeah.
Bit of an omni.
Well, it's called omni, but like I guess it's lighter roasting. I guess some people would argue it's kind of you're sticking closer to the flavor of the coffee itself rather than roasting it too dark and potentially missing out on some of that. But yeah, I don't know their philosophy. It's how they choose to roast.
That's exciting. I'm excited to get those. And then you were saying that you're going to have them at P0.
Project Zero Coffee.
Oh.
I don't know what date yet. It'll be on a Saturday that we do the events. So, I mean, how many times do you get to try the World Barista Champions coffee in your life?
For me, never.
Not many.
Not many. I think I've done it once.
Yeah. Maybe Anthony Douglas.
I had Anthony on come in once and we brewed up some expensive coffee.
Yeah. So
and it might not have even been the one. It might have him been like, this is the equivalent because there's not any of the other one left. Like this is another one that also costs, $600 a bag. Yeah.
And then Jack Simpson's agreed to come on the pod. So our Australian Barista champion, world number 2, he's agreed to come on the pod. So we'll have him. I was in Patricia just this morning trying to harass Bowen to come on the podcast as well. That's going to be a juicy one.
Yeah.
Because there are just so many, like his philosophy behind creating an excellent coffee shop and an excellent atmosphere. Yeah, I think anyone who owns a cafe would want to listen to that one for sure.
Well, after speaking to Varney as well, it was good hearing about that, and I'd be very excited to hear from him and his kind of point of view on that.
Yeah. It's gonna be.
I've also got a little some sizzling. I can't give away too much, but I just want to like lead into the mystery. Near somewhere where I live, I went into this establishment that I go quite regularly, and noticed that they had a really like a beautiful La Marzocco micro, like a little black mat, and I was like, oh, this is just like a really rogue place to have it. They're not like a cafe. They just like serve beautiful coffee. Anyway, got chatting, and then this person who will come on the pod just dropped your name, Kirk, and said, hey, by chance, do you know Kirk? And I said, I whipped up a little photo and was like, literally today. And they were like, oh my God. And then we got chatting and then she just started rattling stuff off.
Oh, you've dropped a hint.
Oh, she's known you for a very long time. And she's like, I think I should jump on the pod and I'll come say hi to Kirk and meet everyone.
What's the feeling? Is she saying like she's got some dirt on Kirk? Is she saying she's got
Whoa.
A little bit. It was just like from the origin story of Kirk and then me giving her a little background on Project Zero and what you're doing with portafilter design and like all the co-ferments and all these things. She's like,
Kirk's designing portafilters now.
I don't know who the hell you're talking about.
Yeah. And she was like, oh my God, he's really changed his tune.
Well, that's he's changed his tune.
Yeah.
That is the sizzle we need. Let's get him on the pod. Surprise guest. This is just going to turn into Jerry Springer pretty soon. It's like, well, we've got him out the back.
I'm going to have to nipple cripple Liam until he tells me.
No, I mean, I don't think he's going to hate that. So,
no.
Oh, no, please don't. Please don't.
I'm never going to tell you, Kirk.
All right, well, okay, that's an interesting take.
Well, I mean, that probably brings us to the end of another coffee break. This is a few great episodes in a row, back to back, hitting them all up. I missed out on the gold medalist, but that's okay. It was a great episode. If you have any questions or want to reach out, hit us at hello@itsjustcoffeepod.com. Hit us on the socials. And as we always say, if you're liking the pod, tell a friend.
Tell 2 friends.
Tell 3 friends.
Tell 4.
Well, I mean, there's no limit to what you could do. And by the way, the coffee that Molly made is just hit. Like I'm.
Oh, you jacked? Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
I was feeling it a bit. It's the crack.
It's the crack.
It's the crack.
It's the crack, she says.
Thank you, Molly. That was very kind of you.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that we need to cover off at the end of this one? We need to start planning the Christmas pod or the end of year pod.
Yes.
Doing that because we're getting to the end of the year. And I'm sure people would love to come down, try some coffees. I'll definitely come down when you have those World Barista Champ coffees on at Sub-Zero. So let me know the date.
Project Zero.
What did I say? Sub-Zero?
You did a Tim Varney.
I did a Tim Varney. Well, just thinking about expensive coffees being frozen. So what's the name of the cafe again?
Project Zero Coffee.
Oh, where is that?
140 King Street, Melbourne.
One more time?
140 King Street, Melbourne.
Oh, okay.
Project Zero Coffee.
We'll keep us updated on that. I'm sure a lot of people want to come down and spend their monthly income on that coffee.
It'll cost an arm and a leg, just warning you.
Yeah, he will be taking either money or arms and legs. There will be a bucket for limbs, so make sure to bring a spare. Thank you for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Coffee break done.